Hello everyone. If you can just let me know. Oh, hello. Do the introduction first, James. So yeah, thank you for coming to part 3 of the Fysetc Trident build. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a bit more done today than we did in last week's stream. I was a bit unsure about the frame and everything like that. But I've disassembled the frame, put it back together, and I'm pretty happy with how it is now. So yeah, really good. If anyone can let me know in the chat if the audio's okay, music's not too loud, etc. Thought we'd have some music on the stream this time, just in case there's parts where I'm not talking and whatever. So hopefully with the camera where it is, you can now see the second screen a bit better. And so you're about to see what I'm looking at and what stage we're at. So in the last stream, obviously we built the A and B motors and the front idlers. So hopefully we'll get a reasonable amount of stuff done today, because it's more or less just bolting things in now. So we'll see how we go. So first thing I want to say is just thank you to Fysetc for sending the printer over. They've been a really good supporter of my channel and my content. Very willing to help out in that way. And you know, I give feedback back to them as well on the kits, and I help out in the Discord servers, etc. So it's a two-way thing, and it works really well, and I'm really happy with how we're going. So yeah, I want to say big thank you also to Richard at PrintyPlease. So PrintyPlease is a reseller for Voron, or not a reseller, sorry, a vendor for Voron parts, etc. and also filament. So the filament, so we've got the purple, Cheshire purple, and then also now I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's like nebula, or it's a type of cat, basically grey, because it's cat themed stuff that they sell. So check them out. And then also I want to say thank you to BigTreeTech, who provided a TFT 50 touchscreen for the build. Obviously we haven't really seen that yet, and that will come later in the build. And the reason I reached out to them is because this build is going to have BigTreeTech control board and CAN hardware in. So because I already had that stuff and I wanted to use that, I thought it might be a good idea to try and get a touchscreen. So pretty much guaranteeing compatibility basically. So that's the thank yous out of the way, so let's get building. So as you can see, the part we're on now is to basically put the things that we built last week onto the thing. So we need some rolling T-nuts. So I've got the hardware box just here. We need to make sure that we orientate the frame correctly, so we know what parts we're putting in. So we can see here that this is the back of the frame. So I will turn the frame towards me, just so that or turn the part of the frame that I'm going to be working on towards me. So the thing we need to make sure here is that we get this M3 nut in. So we'll do these we'll do the M5s first. And we also want to orientate the nut itself the right way around. And that is basically with the holes to the edge of the frame. We want two M5s in the top. And these go in, and I've put that one the wrong way around already. But these go in really nicely into the Fysetc frame. And I might need a pair of tweezers to get this out. There we go. Right, let's try that again. Hold towards the end of the frame. That's those. Then we'll do the other end, and again, 2 M5s in the top. Hold towards the end. And then staying at that end, we want 2 M5s on the bottom. Hello, Richard. So, try and put these in sort of upside down. As I said, these go in pretty nicely. So, right, and this is where we need to keep notes. We want an M5 nearest the upright. If I can get it in without dropping it. Like that, and then we want an M3. So what are you going to get it done, getting up to today, finishing? Bit like you with your 2.4. Yeah, so I haven't really been putting in the description or the title what I'm doing in the stream. I probably should go back and put in what we get done after the fact. And the reason I'm not putting it in first is because sometimes that all automatically puts a pressure on that how much you've got to get done. So I'd rather just stream and get some stuff done and see how we go. I know how far I'd like to get today, but we'll see. So now the opposite side, we're basically putting all M5 in, and it's the same situation. The hole nearest the end of the frame. So pretty easy, just pop these in. And then the 4 on the bottom. See. Okay, that's those in. Okay, so now we're actually going to be putting something on. So let's look at the picture. The picture is basically saying you've got the back, this side, which we have here, and then this one is going here, basically. So according to that, that will be this one. So with the M3 screw at the bottom of the idler. Now what we have to do here is undo the M5 bolt a little bit, because what we need to do is basically open it up a little bit and slide it on. So we'll undo it enough that we can get the frame apart, or the mechanism, and then basically we try and open it up and get it over the extrusion. So we want to undo it enough we can do that, but not too much that we lose our, basically like that. And then we can, this has got to go all the way at the front. Are you doing alternate Y placement? For the end stop, I'm probably going to try and do sensorless, to be honest. So I know that M3 is for the end stop printed part, which I'll probably put on there anyway, just because it gives me that option later. So it's quite hard to see where your Audi printer pawn. yeah, where you're placing things. So we're on M5 by 10s, and that will be these ones at the front here. So we'll put a couple of these in. Ah, cool. Wanted to go senseless, but just couldn't get it working on the party in the back. Why would the party in the back impact senseless? Might be a stupid question. Yeah, I want to go senseless, but I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work out at the moment. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it is very, I suppose, motor and stepper driver dependent, isn't it? Are we doing these up? I think we're doing these up. Yeah, so we'll do these in sort of opposite corners so that we don't. Which there is not much data on. They gave me a script to go senseless from a random Git repo, but that didn't work. Threw out loads of errors, and then there was no documentation. That's annoying. I've only really used the senseless homing on the V0, but it works really well. So let's make sure we do this M5 up a bit more. That doesn't have to be like super tight, that's as long as we've got movement in that. Even that, hang on. Getting weird errors. Was getting weird clipper errors where the config was refusing to save when I changed the values. Weird. What I'd really like to do, and I know, like, I know Steve Builds has talked about this before, is to have like a test rig where you can have basically just 1 or 2 stepper motors, power supply, heater, fan, or maybe not even a heater, something to register, so you can just plug a board in and just play around with it rather than having to swap out a board on a whole printer. It would just make it easy to do, I think. Right, so it then wants us to do the other side. Let's swap this round. So this is the first printed part on the thing, and that looks, I actually really like how the colour scheme works. So I'm quite happy with that. So we need to basically do the same as what we've just done. We want to loosen the M5 off. So that we can open the printed part a bit, so that it basically clips in. And what I might do is tighten this back up now, just so I don't forget. There we go. If the music's too loud, anyone, just let me know and I'll make adjustments where needed. And I know obviously a physical end stop is going to be a lot more reliable than senseless homing. The only thing I'm probably worried about is the Z end stop switch, and making sure that we hit that all the time, because we don't necessarily need like pinpoint accuracy getting somewhere on the bed when we're printing, but to reach that, basically that top of that 5mm shaft might be an issue, but we'll see. I guess I have actually printed the parts for the Voron location of the Y end stop, so I could, I guess, install those parts. Make sure I wasn't supposed to put any washers in these, but I weren't, so that's fine. Yeah, so I could, I guess. You don't need. Oh, right. That's a good point. I mean, I don't think you necessarily need it with any probe. It's, and because this is not going to have a revo on, I'm not going to be changing nozzles like that often. So maybe we will not do that. I'm not sure. Right. So we've now got to do the back part. So I think what I'll do is we'll go around one more time. Which ones it wants me to do first? Yeah, so we are doing this one first anyway, which is this one. Now what does it tell us about how to get this on? Nothing. But again, we're going to want to open up this part here, so we might have to undo a few different things here just to give us we might have to undo the bolts holding the motor in as well, and then we can get that open a bit more, and then that just clips in like that. And before I forget, I'll tighten them up. Don't know if there's potentially a better way of doing that. Somewhere in the build process, to like the 2.4, obviously you build the gantry out of the printer. Right, that should be okay. Move these down. Not very easy to see if the screws line up. But that should be okay. And then again, M310s in all of these holes. Slightly shorter Allen key would have been better here, so that we could get that in there easier. Obviously this bottom one's fine. We don't want to go crazy tight because we'll crack the part, so just enough basically to keep it in place. So yeah, that's that one done. Just make sure all the bearings are still moving nicely. And then we're moving over to the other side. So I think I'll put that, yeah, put that there. And again, we'll undo some of these. Now, shall I do the thing that I should have done earlier and move these to the right places first? No, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. There we go. Let's just tighten these up again. And again, nothing sort of needs to be like super tight. So here we're going to be using that M3. You got to get into some right positions to do 3D printing, bending and putting your back out. Did you, if you're still in the chat, Richard, did you print a different, some different hinges for your 2.4? I'm not entirely sure which hinges I want to use for the door for this. I haven't actually printed them yet, so I've got to make the decision. Not done the hinges yet, yeah. I quite like the idea of doing the hinge that uses M3 bolts to make the hinge rather than a print in place hinge. I want to use annex, but not sure. Yeah. Right, so I now need to get the printed part out. Let's hope I can find it. There it is. Yeah, so this printed part is if you are using an end stop, and I should have not put that bottom bolt in yet. I've just realised. We'll take that one out. Do we need a different length for that? Let's have a look. Skipping head. We do. We need a 16, which is that one. And an M312, which is that one. Yeah, so this is basically, if you was to be using an end stop, and that's either a mechanical end stop, or if there's a space that you can put a magnet in, if you were to use a Hall effect sensor. But it's just basically a piece of plastic that acts as a stop. hello there. You'll have to excuse me for not trying to pronounce your name, because I prefer not to try and pronounce the name if I don't know how to do it. Yeah. But hello. So that's that piece on. That's basically just going to act as a stop. That doesn't help. That does not make it any easier. Right, so we need the D extrusion. And the extrusions, we're not having many left now, so hopefully it should be fairly easy to... What I should have done is remembered what size that was. So where did I get those pictures from? I'm just going to open Discord up so that I can get the size of the D extrusion. And the D extrusion is basically going to be the one that goes in between the things we've just put on. So I see Richard has sent me a message. I will not read that now, Richard. Trident, pin post, scroll down. D300 is a 290 unthreaded. So that should be this one, because the other ones are threaded. Let's get a ruler. Tape measure. Yep, well. Actually a little bit longer than 290, that one. But it's not going to be any of the others, so let's close that down. And so basically we've got to put some T-nuts in first, so let's do that. So we want some M5 roll-in T-nuts. They're all, insert the T-nuts as shown in the highlight. Right, so we want 2 in this end. I do like roll-in T-nuts. I wish there was some sort of post-install nut for the V0 size extrusion, because that's where you would really benefit from adding post nuts. So you want 4 plus 2. Make sure we get that the right way around. So these are going to be what basically connects this extrusion up. So slide into place. The rear crossbar can be slid into place. You may need to loosen the M5 bolts. Right. So let's move this machine around a bit. So presumably goes that way up. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to undo some M5. Just these ones, I think, are what we really need, so we can open up a bit, and possibly this M3 here. Then we can really get a bit more flex, because the last thing you want now is to be breaking apart. So this goes in here. It needs to go in just like that. So what I'm going to do is tighten those up again first, so we don't forget. Do with a little stubby Allen key, really. Fine. Not too tight. We're not looking to. So that's that in place, and then we need M510s. Put that in. Is there? I guess we just need to get it sort of even. Between the parts. We'll go about there. Did your kit come with afterburner or stealth burner? Because mine came with afterburner, and the team from Voron told me that is unacceptable. Well, obviously the Voron team can have whatever opinion they want. However, the advertising doesn't say it comes with stealth burner, so you know, it comes with afterburner because it's a slightly older revision of Fysetc's version of the kit, and that information is on the GitHub, so it's not, I wouldn't call it unacceptable. I knew what it came with because I checked to see what it came with first, and to be honest, the money you're saving over some of the more premium kits, you know, there's not a lot of money to upgrade to stealth burner. You need the round NEMA stepper motor, two 50mm bolts, and a 50 by 15 fan. That's it. And then obviously the printed parts. So mine came with afterburner to answer your question, but I am going stealth burner anyway. So that one. I mean, it's a bit like saying that an LDO kit doesn't come with a hot end or a pie, and that's unacceptable. That's just how they do their kit, and they tell you what's in the kit before you buy it. So that's just my opinion, obviously. Right, let's try and line up the bottom ones. Should have done that first. So there for that. Okay, this is not going to be easy. There. There we go. I didn't know what AB and SB was, and I applied the PF program, and now I don't have the printed parts for AB. Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate, but you know, it's worth asking these questions. That's what I always say. Like, I would not tell you ever to buy a particular kit. You have to sort of go and find out your information yourself and then make that decision. So obviously I can link to Discord servers and all stuff like that, and there's plenty of people who will answer a question if you have one. I'm just going to make sure I'm not supposed to be, no, should be fine. But that is a bit of an issue, but personally I would say that's of a benefit to you, because you've just got to go and buy the 3 things I mentioned and you can carry on with the build and put Stealth Burner in. You may have to sort of you shouldn't have to do anything with the wiring. Wiring should all be the same. Obviously you're not going to be able to put in, you'll have to run some extra wire for the LEDs if you want them, but it's not too much of an issue, I don't think. Right, that's that done. So what we, you're not going to be able to see that, but this rear extrusion doesn't line up with the back one, and that's by design. Basically when you have a panel against here, that will go against this upright, and this gap is for your belts, so that's totally fine. So I now need to find so I need to put some M5 T-nuts in first. We'll put them in. That goes in there and in there. Oops. Where, if you, oh. Yeah, I was just about to ask that question, Richard. If you did want to go afterburner, then there's a section of the Discord server called Rescue Raven, and that's basically where local people will print you a part if you need it. So if you did want to go afterburner, then you could still do that. So I've got to find a part. So I've got to find these 2 brackets. And the question is, what colour did I do them in? Looks like they should be in silver. So excuse me while I'm not on screen. That's one, and I think that's the other. So these printed parts are sort of offset a little. So we want M310s for these as well. Let's try and work out which way around they go. Okay, so they don't have a top locking. Okay, cool. So let's do these first. Oops. So we'll do the top ones first, and then we'll make sure our nuts are in the right place for bottom ones. There. just another M310 for the bottom ones. Probably a nugger too much. That's fine. So basically now what it's going to ask is to make sure things are square. I'm just going to assume I have got square in here actually, and I'm just going to assume, like, I'm not sure how you would get in there to actually measure that it's square, but it should be, so we'll see. Put that down there. Yeah, so I know that I've measured this, so this should be the correct width. Yeah. That's fine. And then what's the next step? So I've sort of already done that bit. So now we want to tip it upside down, and we're on to a linear rail. Let's just move this stuff out of the way. So I can move these out of the way. So these remaining parts is the bed and the white x-axis. Move these printed parts out of the way. So what I should have said actually off camera that I have done, I've lubricated the linear rails. I've done all of them, and I've started with the bed assembly, and that basically means putting the magnet on and then the heater. And the reason I've done that off camera is basically because I like to put the magnet on, put a load of weight on to make it stuck down, and leave that for like 24 hours, and then do the heater side and again put some weight on to make sure it's stuck down. So I figured it was just easier for me to do that now off camera than it would be to sort of try and show you how to do it. But it's really easy. It's just a basically matter of sticking things down. So we turn that around. I think what we're actually going to do is these rails here. So it basically just tells you a little bit in the manual about handling the carriages with care and make sure the things don't fall off. And it also talks about linear rail preparation. So as I said in a previous stream, there was basically no oil on the rails when I got them. So I didn't need to like give them a proper overnight clean in IPA. All I did was basically just wipe them down and then did the procedure that I use for doing the grease. So I'll explain what that is in a second. So yeah, so we're basically now putting, so what I'm going to do is turn this way so I can do this rail first. So basically what we've got to do now is put M3 rolling nuts in. Now this is yeah, so obviously the manual here is for a 250. We've got a 300, so we may use more nuts than suggested, and that's basically so that we have one in each end of the rail, and then every other, and I think we might end up with two in the middle. So I might grab a rail. Let's just grab the right length rail. I think if it's that one, it does just about fit. I think the Z axis is shorter. So yeah, we've got 3 shorter ones, which is that one, and that one, and then those are slightly longer, so there are Y. So how am I going to get this out, or should I just start putting some in? Let's just start putting some in. And basically what we're doing is just putting enough in to do that, like I say, that every other hole. So if I was to put that there, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man. Counting's hard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then possibly one in the middle. So we can always take some out if we need to. So let's put 4 in each side to start with. Let's see where we're at. Gone quiet in the chat. How is the 2.4 coming along, Richard? I know you're practically finished, aren't you? So if we just rest that there, we can then move some stuff around. We're going to put that one there, that one there, that one, and that one. So yeah, so basically what we need is another couple of these, one there, oops, and then one there. So that means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 10 M3 rolling nuts for this linear rail. Just viewed its first plastic, but having main sales issue right now. That's not good. Right, so let's find, yeah, so let's find some spacer thingies. Let's try and find the MGN 9 ones. That's 12. Let's see which ones I've got. Yeah, so I'll leave that out for a second. So what you basically do with these little printed parts is that they go on and they help line the rail up. I might have to just move some of these screws or nuts, sorry. There we go. But you're doing, like me, Richard, you're doing quite a few non-standard things straight from the start, aren't you? So can, party in the back, touchscreen, all of that sort of stuff. So we want M3 8s, which are these ones. And what you should do is sort of start from the middle and work your way out. So what we'll do is we'll put them in and then we'll tighten from the inside working out. So I'll just explain the way I do greasing the rails, and I know people do it different ways and you basically find the way that works for you, but for me what I like to do is I don't like to take the carriage off the rail. What I do is put the carriage over a hole, and then I use a syringe and basically squirt the grease into the hole until you start to see it coming out of the balls. Like if you flipped this over, you'd be able to see where the balls are in the carriage. And then what you do is basically get it so that only a little bit is sort of coming out, and then I like to then move the carriage up and down. Try and get this gap even. And then what I'll actually do, if you do some short, basically you want to try and move the balls in there. There's like a lane for them to go in. So you get the balls moving around, and then I go back over that same hole, which is already now filled with grease, and put a little bit more in. And then basically you just then have to clean that hole out. So you do sort of lose a little bit of grease by doing it that way, but I think it's just a better way of doing it. So I've put the M38s in the holes and I've not tightened them down, but what you want to do is basically start from the middle and then work your way out each side. And then do the same going the opposite way. And then just make sure that they're tight. Again, not like, don't strip the thread or anything. They just got to be tight enough so that they don't come out, basically. And then that's that side done. And our carriage still moves nice and smooth. And then it's basically rinse and repeat on the other side. Yeah. We basically turn that frame around and do the exact same thing. Just do it in two passes. Let's not get clever. There we go. And then we just basically put the nuts in again and do it again. So, how many did I put in that side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 5 each way. We've got the right way around. 2, 3, 4. Here. 5, and then we'll switch and go the other way. So I'll just grab one more. 1. Well, that one went in way too easy. What's going on with that? That one's missing the ball. I don't think I've had a rolling T-nut missing a ball before, but first time for everything. So then we basically do the same again. Grab our rail. We'll just stand it on the extrusion to start with. Basically get our nuts in the right place. Make sure they look basically in the right place. Then we can put that on there. Use our stops again, or our printed guide thingies. And that just ensures that the rail is in the middle of the extrusion. We'll go through again and put the bolts in. Not tightening them up, just putting them in, and then we'll come back and tighten them. Just move that on a bit. That one's gone forever. And you know, going back to talking about greasing the rails, you don't need a lot. Like, you just need enough to coat the balls in the tracks. Now I haven't done sort of maintenance on my printers where I've gone and re-greased, because the problem is a lot of these carriages don't have grease holes in. So you'd have to basically take the rail off to do it. But I've not had an issue where I felt that it needs grease. Now, can I see if I can find that? Yeah, there it is. I hate bad wiring diagrams or bad wiring decisions. For some reason, the Super 8 reverses polarity on the bed voltage input. Yeah, that's what. There's another board that does that. But I forget which one it is. It's a bit weird. Hello, Maple Leaf makers. Nice to see you here. Move this rail along just to get it sort of spaced in the middle. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, so again, we now go through and tighten up, starting from the inside going outwards. And again, not trying, or being careful not to strip threads or anything like that. Do it in a couple of goes if you have to, just to do them evenly. Then go back and do the other side. There we go. That's that one done. And that moves nicely along there. So what are we on to now? Done that. So we now are on to doing some Z steppers. So we've got to put some heat sets in. So let's just move that over there a bit. We're done with them for now. I'll put them there. So, just gonna wipe my hands on a piece of kitchen towel. So the Fysetc kit comes with the 3-hole style cable chains. So that's the part I've printed, or the parts that I've printed. So let's just grab them. Try not to knock anything over. Grab the box so I'm not just constantly off camera. So what part are we looking for here? We are looking for this part. And I'm sure there'll be other inserts to do. Might just have a quick scan forward and see if there are, so that I can do them all in one go. We've got our cable chain, that's those. No, we don't need any other inserts for a while, so let's do those. So we can grab the vertical inner motion press from Vector 3D, find a plug to put it in and hope that I don't unplug something that I need. So that one should be able to come out. Let's grab 3 inserts. So this is our part, and this is this will be the rear bed mount, I assume. So is that going to lay nicely on there? Yeah. We'll let that heat up for a second. Hopefully the music's not too loud, everyone. Sort of a good volume for me, just to have in the background, and hopefully you can hear me speaking over it. It's very, like, I tried to listen to it on my phone when I went live, but it's hard to sort of judge without me speaking. You can't hear it, okay. We see if we can turn it up a bit and see what you think. What about now? So that's a little bit louder. I'm still obviously speaking over it. There'll be a little bit of a delay, so you'll have to let me know. Now the music's just gone off for some reason. There you go, it's playing again. So that's those 3 inserts in. Let's turn that off. Bad way goes. Never thought I would say it. Still very low, but can hear the beat now. I literally had bad way goes. Look. How have you got bad way goes? Like the metal is not connected right, or let's unplug this and move this out of the way. I'll just put it down here so that I don't catch anything else on fire. No continuity between one side and the other. Wow. Yeah, never heard it. Right, next. So we're now putting in some. So does it want me to put the frame the right way up now? Yeah, I assume so. Or I guess I could put it on its back. Whoops. What's it you say? Which was causing an issue getting 24 volts to where it needed to be. Could very well be fake. They were super cheap on. Yeah. That's the only problem, I guess, is the possibility of fakes. So now we're putting the rear Z stepper mount on. So we want 4 M5 T-nuts in the back. I wonder what is going to be the best way to position this frame. This will probably have to do, I guess. Be on the lookout for roll-ins without the balls. And then obviously we need those printed parts. And these are, I think, I'm not sure if the rear one is the same, but because we're doing inverted electronics, so these I think are slightly different STLs. So let's try and get these lined up. I'm going to turn the frame around, I think, so that I can get to it easier. Easier and difficult at the same time by turning it round, but we'll see. We can at least get some of them in. So we want M5 by 10s again. Hopefully we're going to have enough of them. I do like the black hardware on this colour frame and printed parts combo. I got that in the right place. Oh, I must have. Nice. But at least you were able to find what the issue was, Richard, and get that sorted. So it wants us to... So we're now putting the linear rail on. So I guess it would be okay to lay it on its back and do it that way. I might turn it round, I think. Yeah. Okay. So, more M3 T-nuts. Now this time, so it looks like we're doing every other again, but obviously the rails are slightly shorter. So we might not want as many as we had before. So let's grab a rail. And then we'll just lay that, put that to the, or let's put a few in to start with, I guess. These should be the same, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 each side. Because all of the tridents are the same height, so. Oops, we'll put that in the wrong way around. Not a particularly warm day in England at the moment, but it's getting a bit warmer in here, so I might just open this door. So if anyone comes through, I apologise. So we're going to put these the other side. So, 29 here, it's not too bad. I'm not sure what the temperature is here, it's like, I don't know, 20, something like that. So, that one there, that one there. So again, we get our guides out, and we want to make sure, I like the grey printed parts. I saw someone with black frame and silver parts and it was perfect. Yeah, it's always difficult to decide on the colour scheme you want to go for. It's obviously a very personal thing. What you can make it a very personal thing. Like my 2.4 next door is the red and black, traditional, if you want to call it that, Voron red and black. My V0s are the ones where I've sort of gone off the rails colours, and then this one I wanted to do a different colour as well. So hence why this one is the colour it is. So we'll just get these started in the holes, because we will have to make sure of a certain gap at the bottom of the frame, bottom of the rail. So we'll just get these ones in and then we can make sure we get that gap at the bottom. I actually have no idea what this music is, by the way. I think it's on Spotify and it should be streamer friendly, but right, what's going on here? Make sure I've got the right number of. No, I've gone wrong somewhere. There. I think this one is in the wrong place. One needs to come down. Oops. Okay, I think that's in the right place now. There we go. Right. So, let's see what this tells us. Yeah, so the bottom gap, we need leave a small gap between the bottom of the rail and the printed part. 1 to 2 millimeters is fine. So, let's get that to about 1 to 2 millimeters. Probably about there. And then let's start tightening these up a bit. Okay, fine. And then, so we now need to put in a little rail stop. And we're going to need an M3 hammer nut. So the hammer nut and a rolling nut are often just referred to as T-nuts, but as I sort of described, so I can get you a closer view of this. Where's the focus? Go the right way. So a rolling nut is a sort of a longer nut with a ball on, and then that sort of provides the tension to roll it into the extrusion and it will stay there. Whereas the hammer nut is sort of shaped in such a way that when you turn it or when you tighten up, it will twist and lock itself into the extrusion. The one is you put on, they both sort of post install ones, which is good. Hopefully that's still in focus for you. But it wants us to use the hammer nut. So a hammer nut, and then I need a rail stop. Which is one of these. And that's just a accent color printed part. And we want an M3-8. That goes into the printed part. And then you put the hammer nut on the other side. Like that. And then we're going to put that at the top of the rail, basically. You know you've got it right because the part won't come out, basically. If you get it wrong, if the hammer nut doesn't twist, you tighten up and then the part will come out because it hasn't locked, but that's fine. So we take those off and that runs fine. So that's that part done. Now we want to do our front the motor mounts. So let's pick this up. And then what you've got to remember with these is that the logo goes to the front of the printer. So that will go there and that will go there. So we want M5 T-nuts again. M5, yeah, rolling nuts. So we want two facing the extrusion. So it's a bit hard to sort of so one that way, one that way, and then the other two, the hole goes the other way. So let's get these in the right place. Do that. Then probably M510, oops, M510s, yep. So it looks like it's gonna ask us to do each side as we go, so that's fine. So we get 4 of these out. I don't know if you're still here, Maple Leaf makers. I wondered how you were getting on with your Fysetc V0 and Catalyst board. Mine's been printing fine actually. I printed some other parts for this on there the other day. I just needed to print because I'd forgotten them. I'm here. Fysetc machine has been printing great. Got a new home now with a friend. Excellent. Good to hear. So that one is on. Now, I might have done the wrong one first, but I don't think it really matters. We're just basically putting these, yeah, we're just basically putting these on and putting the linear rail on. So what I have got to work out is which way the so the linear rail goes on this side, I think. What I might do is just scroll down a bit just to confirm that. I guess that one shows us actually, doesn't it? No, that doesn't really. Keep going. Over here. Yeah, so it's on this side. Okay. So I'm just going to basically, I'm going to put both sides on first, I think. Just because. What I actually do need to ask is anyone here that's built a Trident, and with the inverted electronics, I'm obviously going to need to at some point put the skirts on so that I can then put like the bottom panel on and stuff. But the manual sort of is in, obviously in the default order, but do I need to do that at any particular point? Is it better to do it at a certain point? I did the skirts early. I would put the skirts on early. So when you say early, like in a couple of steps time, we're going to be putting the feet on. So would it be a good time to put the skirts on then, for example? When you put the feet on, yeah. That is when I would do it myself. Excellent, yeah. I knew that they were going to have to go on sooner than what the manual said, but I wasn't sure at what point. But yeah, we'll put them on when we put the feet on. Okay. That's both those on. Just makes aligning stuff up easier. Yeah. Right. So linear rails go on the inside basically. So let's tip these up. Watch the carriages go and hope that there's a stopper in the way, which there is. And I think I'll turn the frame around. On the ruler. Okay. So more of these. We want 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Okay. Four, and then the direction round. And try not to get the nuts stuck in the extrusion. There we go. Excellent. Right, let's grab another rail. So let's line these up. We'll go. Do these need to have a little gap at the bottom as well? Yeah. We can always move these after once we've got the screws in as well. So. There's one on there. I'll go there. Yeah, we'll miss one, and then this one will go there. Okay. So, more M3 8s. I would really like to have some music on, like, that I would normally listen to, but because it would basically be copyright, not really worth the hassle, but this will do for just something in the background, won't it? Even though you might not actually be able to hear it as well as what I can, but anyway. Move that one up a touch. So what could we be talking about while you're watching me do this? I know it's a couple of weeks now until Earth. I'm in the UK, so I won't be going to that. But obviously we're going to be having Smurf this year, the Sanjay Mortimer Rep Festival in Oxford in the UK. Is there many people in the chat going to be going to that? Move that last one down. Yeah, there's a gap at the bottom, that's fine. I was talking about going to Smurf, Richard. I know you're hopefully going to be there. I haven't fully decided yet whether I'm going. It basically boils down to, am I going to go? I will 100% be there if I don't get screwed by work. So you'll 100% be there, hopefully. And then obviously, as you rightly point out, we have some mutual friends who are hopefully who are going to be there. I'm not sure if that's public knowledge yet, and whether they're on the list of sponsors. Could have a quick check, shall I? Have a quick look. That isn't where I want to go. Let's see who's on the list of sponsors. They're not on there at the moment, but hopefully they'll be announced soon. They haven't asked for the logo yet. I've been doing the communication around it. Excellent. What it basically boils down to at the moment is I want to go get away and have a break, a trip away. So the question is basically, do I go to Smurf in December? Obviously seeing some big YouTubers which I really want to meet and stuff like that, but it's sort of still going to be like a public like gathering and stuff like that. I get a little bit anxious around sort of groups of people. Or do I go to like the Peak District or somewhere like that for just a break on my own? So I haven't really decided yet. I can't do both, it's one or the other, so but we'll see. Still got time to decide. I have started looking at if I was to go to Smurf, how I'm going to get there, where I'm going to stay, etc. So yeah, haven't decided yet. Did I say Lake District or Peak District? I've been to the Peak District and I really loved it. It was fantastic. I drove, and one of the things I remember, I was with a friend and we were driving to a place we were going to go for a walk, and we sort of just came around this bend and it just opened up to this huge valley with a town village at the bottom, and it just looked really so nice. If you just bear with me a second, guys, I'm just gonna just be back in a second. Just wanted to open that door. So you're probably hearing the audio. I'm just gonna turn that down a bit. There we go. Yeah, Peak District, Lake District, one of the two. So yeah, haven't decided quite yet on Smurf. We'll see, I guess. Put these in the right place. That should be right, I think. Yeah. That on there. Rail stop, rail guides can go there. That one can go there. Then our M38s. I think really the only reason I would want to go to, well, not the only reason, but one of the main reasons to go to Smurf is to see, obviously, the YouTubers that I watch who are in America. Most of them are in America, which is fair enough. So they don't get the opportunity to come over here that often. So it would be nice to perhaps see some of them. I imagine that they are going to be pretty busy with either making content themselves or basically being hounded by people, so you won't have that much time to see them, I guess. Let's do one at the bottom first. At least with mutual friends of ours going, Richard, we'll have a table that we can stand at for most of the day and not feel like we're sort of going what am I trying to say? I don't know. We won't sort of be equal. I missed two in the middle. What's going on here? One there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. Oh, I'm missing one. Like when I've been to, I went to TCT show. Been a couple of times. The problem with, well, there's a few problems with that show really. One, it's very, very corporate. Like, it's not really for the hobbyist, which is fine. But if you're a visitor, you basically have to walk around all day, and then sort of find yourself somewhere to sit at lunchtime or whatever. Yeah, and it can be a bit overwhelming, I suppose. But at least well, hopefully, if I'm allowed, I could just plonk myself at a table and just sit there for 5 minutes. Right, that's that one done. Hopefully I'll put them in the right places. Okay, what's next? So, we want, did I print? I assume I printed enough rail stops. Let's have a look. Found what? Ah, there's the other one. I did print the right ones. Print the right number. So, hammer nuts, M38, And then we can put these rail stops in as well. Okay. So we're getting this. It goes a hell of a lot quicker once you are basically just bolting things on, as you can see. So we've got to get these, so they go at the top. I actually don't think the rail would actually come off here anyway, but we'll put this on. Yep, that should be on alright. Move that up there. And we'll do the same the other side. What slicer are you using? I will use Prusa slicer. The one I use at the moment. So I think it all depends really on what you're doing. If you're like, I know Super Slicer has basically there's a lot more settings that you can manipulate that you can't necessarily in Prusa Slicer, but yeah, all depends what you're looking for really. And but yeah, I use Prusa Slicer, works absolutely fine for me. So we've got both rail stops in. I've done the other side as well. So we're now assembling the parts that connect the bed to the rails, which one of this is one of. So why it asked us to do the heat inserts already, I don't know. So let's get out the parts we need. I won't move where that is just yet. Don't know if you're quite in focus. I'm just going to zoom in. I can't really. There we go. So you're more in focus on the frame. There we go. Right, let's get some parts. So we need some accent parts as well as Z motor mounts. Let me bring this box over here so I'm not out of view. That's one. That is another one. And then we need these two parts, which are accent parts. So let's have a look. Left Z joint, which is this one, I guess. Yep. We want an M5 nut, so let's find our M5 nuts. They might be out already. Yeah, I think that's an M5 nut. I'll get two out because we know we're going to need them. And then we want M36. So they are in this little bag here. What are they? M4. So we'll put these in our hex tray. probably will do is get my wearer drivers out, because we'll probably need them in a second. So what we've got to do is just orientate ourselves correctly. So we want an M5 nut in this little space here, if I can get it to go in straight like that. And then we want our accent part, which goes over it, so it's not holding the nut in. So I don't know why we had to put the nut in first, but. And then we want our M3x6, which I've got to thread into plastic just to hold this accent part on. So let me get the right driver out. That's probably going to be this one. On the next page I used, yeah, I don't know why they've called it a lead bolt nut when everyone would just call it a lead screw nut, but yeah. So the brass ones would need lubrication. The black ones, my only concern is that they're plastic, but they're not necessarily Delrin. And Delrin wouldn't need lubrication, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what material the nut is made of, so yeah, not really sure yet which ones I'll use. Probably the plastic ones, but it wouldn't really matter which one you use. So these don't need to be like super tight. That does sort of stop the nut, I guess. I've used the black ones for Prusa Mark III for 3 years with no problems. Yeah, but what I'm saying is they are probably Delrin, and I'm not sure if these ones are. So yeah, now I've got to remember where I put them. I've seen them somewhere, but I might have put them back in the box. Have a look. Yeah. They're not over here, so I think I might have put them back out here, so just bear with me a second. Okay, so I've got the plastic ones. So I'll have a look at them and see what I think I'm going to do. So these, I mean, technically these are anti-backlash nuts. So you're supposed to use the spring and everything with it as well. So we'll just go with it. Go with the plastic ones. I mean, I've used the Delrin ones on printer bots before, so I didn't know the orientation up, down, so I put them with the height up. Yeah, so it probably would be better to have it so there's more at the top than it is at the bottom, I guess. So we want M312s and some lock nuts. M312s. So it's just showing us 2 at the moment. Lock nuts. Yeah, so you don't want to do these up like too tight because they're... So let's try and orientate this part correctly. This is going to go this way. Going to have the bolt from this side. And then we want to drop the thing on the floor. I forgot they were probably easier to do one at a time, I reckon. Just to get it started, just so nothing's going to fall out. Doesn't matter which way we... I'm going to put it there. My rebel. So we then put this other lock nut on. So what we're going to need is just a pair of pliers to hold the nut while we do them up. I need to tighten this one up a little bit more. Just do that one a little bit more. A bit more. The carefully to be aligned. Yeah. Okay. And the reason we leave them a little bit loose is so that they sort of self-align. So that should be about right, I think. For best results, do not fully tighten. They don't really tell you in the manual how much to tighten them, but that's That's fine. So we then do the other one. Oops. Do this one first. Let's get the last one in, plus screw. Probably easier to actually not use ball end drivers to do this really, but I haven't got any both flat end ones, so this will have to do. And obviously turn it around and use this end. Again, not over tightening, just an accent piece really. There we go. And basically doing the same again. So we put this in, put our, how did I do this one? Don't think it really matters. We'll do one. We'll get, did I get, maybe I only got 2 out. There we go. Get one of these on. M3 nuts are a little bit on the small side, and you got in your a big handed oath, but we get there. And we'll obviously try and get both of all of these to be about the same tightness, looseness, however you want to phrase it. So let's have a look how much thread. Literally got like a couple of threads through on each nut, so try and get this one to be roughly the same. That needs a little bit more. On both sides. I'll probably undo a little bit. So one sort of needs to be undone a little and one needs to be done up a little. There we go. I think that's about where I want them. So that's the, okay, and we want to do the rear one as well. So is there no accent part for the rear one? So we want our M5 nut. That's probably going to come out, so I'll put that in a minute. And then we want our last one of these. Let's get 2 lock nuts out while we're here. Make sure I've got this part the right way around. Yep. M312s. Through there. Got a lock nut on the end. Doesn't go on very far. Might just nip that one up a bit first before we continue. There we go. M312. Not easy to get in that rear hole. There we go. So same again. And this one, because we're not, this one feels like it needs to be tightened up a little bit less than the front ones. So undo that one a little. Tighten this one up. Yep, that feels about right. And then obviously we've got to remember to put our M5 nut in there. So basically now we've got a top down view of what goes where. So the rear obviously is going to be simple. We know which one the rear is. So this wants us to do front left first. So what I might do is pick the frame up and put it on its what would be the bottom, and then obviously I'll turn it around to get where we need to be. So I can do that. This will be our front left. So basically this one goes here, and then how we want it to look is basically like that, I believe. And we'll just get this, basically you have it so that the accent part is at the bottom. If you did it the wrong way around, you'd have the accent part at the top. So we know that that one goes over there. So M312s again. And then these will go into the carriages. We'll just get one in each corner started first before we tighten anything down. like that. We'll put all 4 in. There we go. That's the first one done. So we don't want to tighten these too much, but we want them tight enough that they're not loose. And that was the N5 nut falling out the bottom. So we'll remember that that's not in there. So what's it want us to do next? The other side. I'm just going to put the M5 nut there, and I will turn the frame, I think. And again, making sure that the accent part is on the bottom, and that should hopefully be the right way around. So we get our M312s out. We'll just get one in the carriage to start. Then put the opposite corner one in. Make sure everything still moves okay as you go. Make sure it all still moves. Go a little bit tighter. There we go. And then I'm guessing it's the rear one. Yep. So we'll do the rear one where it is. And again, it goes. Yeah, that M5 nut is just going to fall out. I'm surprised that one hasn't fallen out yet, but it hasn't. So more M312s. Oops, they're the wrong ones. They're 8s. Oh, it is 8s that I want. So we'll just get one in to start. And get an opposite corner in. I think it was Adam Savage where I picked up that you basically want to get all your screws in first before you tighten any down, so that you don't knock anything out of alignment, basically. And then you tighten in diagonals. There we go. Perfect. So, next step. So, now we're actually putting some Z motors in. So, we want to be turning things upside down. So what I'll do first is I'm just going to grab the Z motors because they're next door. So bear with me. then obviously what we've got to do is take the brass lead screws off that the kit also comes with. So we'll take these off and then we'll turn the frame upside down. And I also like to apply the lubricant a bit later on. It's telling us in the manual to add some lubricant, which we will definitely have to do, I think. Just because they're plastic doesn't mean you can't just add a little bit of lubricant as well. Doesn't hurt.
Want to make the most of your playlists? With Spotify Premium, you can listen to all the
Well, we'll see how it goes, Matt. Perhaps before we do apply any.
without music interruptions. Upgrade to Premium and listen your way. Tap the banner to learn more.
How far have you got with your Trident Costas? Probably butchered the name, but I'll give it a go. Costas. There we go. So that's those 3 lead nuts off. So now we're going to turn the frame upside down. So, what is it going to want us to do first? Right. So, we'll try and keep this at the front. Do it in stages so we don't end up dropping anything. I stopped at X-axis. Right, so right Z motor. I don't think it really matters which one we do, but work out what way the right way that will be. This one probably. And basically what we've got to do is make sure that the orientation of the motor exits away from the edge of the frame. There we go. So then we want M312s to attach the stepper motor. Then just do these one at a time, making sure you're lined up. The holes in the stepper. Get all 4 in. And we can see that that moves okay. Both of them look Not sure what you're saying there. Both of them look the other motors, the white plug. Have I put it in the wrong way? It doesn't make an awful lot of difference, to be honest, but you are correct. So I think it was just going to tell us to do the next one. Where's my mouse? There. Yep, just keep on going basically for the next one. There we go. Next four. M312s. We might try and remember to put a nut in a second as well. Get opposite corners in first, remember. What we want to make sure is that we're not lifting the motor up. We are actually screwing into the motor and it's stayed against the printed part. I think we're okay. This one's a bit tricky to get to, but seems to move okay. So that will just leave us with the Z, the rear Z motor. And this time we're going, how do you call the white plug on the motor where the cable goes in? What the type of connector? This would probably be a JST XH, although the pin, where's my ruler? So it might be a little bit smaller than an XH. Now I think it's an XH. I can double check actually. So I get some of my many connectors. Yeah, so this is actually a little bit smaller than an XH. So let's try. I don't think it's as small as a PH, but it's a JST connector, I'm pretty sure. Not sure if I've got the right size here though. Okay, those connectors must face the other motors across. Yeah, so these two are facing each other, and then this one will be facing outwards, and the A and B motors face the frame because they will be going down the frame. Yeah, I mean, it's not like end of the world sort of thing. But this one definitely goes facing forwards. So this is also M312s. There's 3. There's 4. Seems to move okay. So, the next step. The next step, we're going to be putting some accent pieces on the feet. So, I need to get the feet and the accent pieces. So, bear with me a second. I must remember that I've got these nuts that need to go into these printed parts because they fell out. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get a good picture, but I just want to show you the printed parts. These came out like so nicely. Show you the printed part and not my hand. Yeah, really nice. Hello 3D Experiments. The easy part is the feet, yeah. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this colour as well. Would I have liked the frame to be a little bit more darker? Yes, but I'm still quite happy with how the parts and the colour scheme matches. So these are also the M36s. Where did I put those other ones? There. I'm tempted to get the gold frame that Fysetc sell. Oops, probably don't need all of them, but they're out now. Yeah, depends what colour you go with, I guess, as to whether How does this? So, got to make sure we get the right parts with the right feet. What colour parts would you go with if you got the gold frame? Current frame is cyborg purple. Get that through and just get that started. Maybe go with gold and red. Gold and red parts. Yeah, that would look quite good. I know it's not updated for Stealth Burner, but I like the color configurator thing. So the printer in the thumbnail is from this website that you can basically configure what the color is going to look like. So you can choose from different colors for the frame, printed parts, the accent parts. It just helps sort of visualize what the printer is going to look like. We don't want to over screw them because we'll because we're threading into plastic. We don't want to strip the threads out, so don't go too tight on those. When I was looking at doing my first V0, I was thinking about getting, I can't remember if it was a gold frame or I think it was a gold frame I was thinking about getting. And I was going to do a Loki, so Marvel's Loki. Going to do a theme based around the colours that he used, so green and gold. I think that would have looked really good. But I ended up not getting a coloured frame and just doing it purple and orange. But I think a Loki coloured Voron would look pretty cool. Obviously you'd have to be a bit of a Marvel fan to want that, but yeah. Try and stand up a bit straighter. Oops. Yep, season 2 in a few weeks. Really looking forward to that. I honestly think that the Loki has been the best Marvel TV series. That's my opinion. Yeah. And then what other right, I think what other series there've been. WandaVision wasn't too bad. Hawkeye wasn't too bad. She-Hulk was not even worth talking about, in my opinion. Yep, I'm watching Ahsoka. I watch a lot of TV. So show you what, Miss Marvel. I haven't watched Miss Marvel. Yeah, I haven't watched any of that actually, so that might be something I can start watching. Really? Okay. Now, see, Loki was. I think Loki was fantastic. I think the reason I thought it was so good is because, well, one, Tom Hiddleston is a really good actor, and I think Loki in the films has always been a little bit like almost treated as the villain and as to someone you're not supposed to like, in my opinion. And I think the progression of his character in Loki, the TV series, was really good. So yeah, really looking forward to the second season of that. So that's the feet done. So let's try and work out what this is asking. So we've sort of got that where we want it. So we want M5, whoops, let's do the M5s first. So we want can we look on one of these feet and see? So this is the front, so this will have one of these feet. Yeah. It's hard to see which way we're supposed to put the nuts on. Don't think it matters too much. So I'm going to do it that way, I think. We want M5s on the outer edges. And then M3 on the front and back. Like that. So that's the back. So got to try and work out what foot I want to wear now. Pretty sure that will be the front. So this is this one here. I think that goes there like that. We got an M510. Hello Todd, thank you for coming along. Yeah, I think the printed part colours are going to look really cool. Really happy with how they've come out actually. So we'll put that in there. And that probably needs to, where does that need to go? In a bit. I've made this very easy for myself. Let's get the M3 in first. That is an M3-8. Colours are always a little bit, well, from what I see they look a little bit darker, but I think they look really well together. That one might have to use, what do they use? Just trying to work out that I'm getting this the right way around. I think we are. We'll soon find out, I guess. Not too tight, you don't want to crack anything. There we go. Okay, so it wants us to do, yeah, that looks right. So it wants us to do the foot now as well. Right, just bear with me a second, got to get the feet. Okay, got the feet. So, this is an M516, is that, and then an M5 nut. So the nut is obviously going to go on the inside of that, then that, then this. What size thing are we going on? Okay. Agree, had not considered grey, but looks awesome. Trying to see what colours I want when I do my kit. Fysetc won't ship my kit until end of September. Restock of the US warehouse. So let me find, I don't know if you are aware of the colour, the Voron colour configurator thing, whatever they want to call it. Let me see if I can find the one that I've used. Yeah, so I don't know if you're aware of this, but this you can select what colour frame and parts you have, just to give you a visual idea. And it's not updated for Stealth Burner, so that will be the afterburner that's on the picture, like on my thumbnail. But it does help to sort of visualise what it's going to look like. Right, so let's do the next foot, which I think is this one. Pretty sure. And then I'm guessing that will go there. Yeah. Oh wow, thank you. Had no idea that existed. Yeah, really good. There used to be another one, but I'm not sure if that one's still around. But that one is the one I've used to do the thumbnail. But just lets you sort of play around with colours and see which one, what colour you're going to want to go with. M38. Let's get the M3 in. M38, yeah. Lineal. There we go. Another foot. You can do like loads of accent colours as well. Like, is it 6 or something that the configurator lets you do? But I just went with the normal 4. Looked good enough for me. Another foot. Okay. Find the part orientation. So I'm pretty sure that they are correct. And then what are we doing now? Back ones. So let's turn this around. Ooh. Getting a little bit heavier now. So again, that's that side, pretty sure. And then this one will be side. So let's get these in the right place. And 310. Forgot what size we wanted. So what we'll do is we'll put these on, and then we will put the skirts on, because we're doing the inverted electronics, so we want to get that part done. Basically, this is where I stopped. You're on your own. Uh-oh. Luckily it's not my first rodeo, so I think I'll be okay. But we'll do the skirts next, and then I can put the bottom panel on, because the bottom panel will be where we put our electronics. So whoops. Right, last one. Okay, last M3 going in, of the feet that is. Do our last foot. Okay, how am I going to do this? Oh, I've left me Allen key over here. There we go. That's the feet on. You can just about see that. So what we're going to do now is skip ahead a bit in the manual. Skirts section. So we're going to have to do some more inserts. I knew we were going to have to do some more at some point. So let's have a little tidy up. Remembering I've got those two M5 nuts there. We're going to need. So there's quite a few skirts to do. So let's do the accent ones first. I think this one has got, no, that hasn't got printed parts in, heat sets in. This one has, and this one has. Let's get the thingy up. So these are the fan holders. So these will go on the sides like that, or like that if I was looking what I was doing. And then we want to put a heat press insert in here, and this is where the bottom panel screws to. Let's get a couple of inserts out ready. Get quite a few out because we're going to need them. There we go. How well does this sit? So let this heat up a little bit. I could be getting the other skirts over, couldn't I? So not all of them will have inserts. those ones don't. I thought those ones did. Oh no, they're the fronts. Okay. Got a little pile of ones that we need to do. And then, so this will be the front for the screen. This doesn't have an insert in. Okay, let's get some of these in. You want to go fairly quick because this soldering iron does get really hot after a while. I will answer your question in a second. Odd. Hello, Steve Builds. Everyone say hello to Steve. Steve's answering questions in the chat. Excellent. Whatever Trident stream he goes in, he gets questions. Do the functional parts of a 300. Oh right, yeah. Check. So that one, two side ones. Haven't got that. Yeah, that should be it. Let's turn that off. That'll get too hot. How are you, Sir Steve? I wasn't able to catch your Galileo 2 stream yesterday because I was watching Chris Riley do his Trident. That'll be on my list to catch up on. I will be in your stream later on. Do the functional parts of a Trident 300 fit on a V0 bed plate? Another 2.4 plate parts fit functionally. My mouse. Oh, so we can also put in the coloured accent parts. I like these bits. No, that is the problem. When you're trying to coordinate a stream or do it, especially as you had a guest on as well, so there we go. So we've got a little zoom in so you can see. Little accent piece in the skirt just to give it a bit of a colour. I really like that. I think YouTube also doing something weird at the moment, because when I looked at Chris's stream earlier in the day, I'm sure it said it was at 3 p.m. my time. So I turned up at 3 o'clock, and then it wasn't for like another hour and a half. So it was doing something weird, I think. Let's get this out of the way. And then when I looked at my stream earlier, it said it was at 12 o'clock, when I knew it was at 1 o'clock because I was the one who scheduled it. So yeah, it was doing something weird. Right, let's try and put this in. Couldn't work out which way this went in the other day when I was trying to put it in. Is that right? Yeah, I guess that's in. So 7 hours difference from here is 3 p.m. right now. Yeah, it's 4 p.m. here at the moment. I think that's in, right? Is that supposed to be flush? No idea. Right, so we need some nuts. Yeah, my notification of your stream said 12 o'clock. I'm in the US, so yeah, it's doing weird stuff. I mentioned this to you like a couple of weeks ago, Steve, where I said, oh, your stream is it at a certain time, and you said no, it's at the normal time. And it's because YouTube was telling me one thing when it actually should have been telling me something else. So we want some M3 nuts. Yeah, really weird. But I think we've sort of come to the conclusion that that is YouTube. Doesn't give you notifications when it's supposed to, and try to zoom in on this. Can't quite see which way those nuts are. I think they're going. Let's turn it around first, actually. Oh, I could just do the rear ones. Oh, I've got to put a couple of heat sets into this, into our power thing. Must have skipped that part.
Going back and forth about heading out or staying
I can
in.
find it.
With Spotify Premium, you can download and take your music offline for
And all
whichever
this.
path you choose.
Yeah,
Just
not doing that
pull
just
up your
yet.
playlists to keep the tunes flowing from one adventure to the next. Upgrade to Premium.
Bed is
and
being
listen
done
your
at the
way.
moment, prepped.
Tap the banner to learn more.
Weird. Where does it tell us to put the... there we go. Yes. So we do need 2 inserts in this. Well, for me they're always the perfect time, and I shouldn't even be able to watch YouTube. You never seem to go to bed, Richard. That's your problem. There's always some streams I want to watch, but if they're on at like 1 in the morning, they ain't getting me there. So that one's in the top. These ones go in the front. We just have to wait for that to heat up. While that's heating up, I will move this. This that doesn't have any screws on the side. That will do the back ones first, don't matter. I'm back to standard schedule now. Semester has started. If I don't turn up, I'll get sacked. You may have covered this, but I know using Octopus ball instead of Spider. Are you using the 2209 drivers that came with the kit, or did you get new ones with the BigTreeTech board? The BigTreeTech board has got 2209 drivers in already, yeah. That either I got at the time with the BigTreeTech board, or I've put them in after. Is that going to go down far enough? No. Might have to just move my bottom stop a bit. There we go. So bed before 1 AM every day. I'm in bed well before 1 AM every day, mate, I'll tell you that. There we go. They look alright. Turn that off. Yes, Todd. Sorry, I've sort of half answered your question. I'm probably not using the ones that came with the Spider, no. Because I've already got some 2209s in the Octopus that I've had in there before. You have the inlet with the filter, why not? Why not you need another skirt part for the AC inlet? Huh? You have the AC inlet with filter, when not you need... Yeah. Yeah, I've got the correct skirt for what I'm using. I'm using the filtered. Because again, so this is a Fysetc kit, but I'm sort of not using everything that came with the kit. I'm using some like more premium parts, you could call it. Yeah, I've got the filtered inlet, which I could put in right now. It's got to go in, so. I know when I tried to get these in the other day, they were a bit tight, so hopefully they go in. Actually, this goes in quite easily. Yeah, that goes in really easy. That uses M310. Might not even have some of them. Might have to see if I can find some. Why you go with the Octopus? Is there a serious reason? Something we must be aware of? No, the Spider is perfectly fine. The only reason I'm going with the Octopus is because I had it. I'm going can on this build, and I was lucky enough to get a can board from one of Steve Build's live streams, which is also a BigTreeTech product. So I just thought I want to keep all of the electronics the same, but there's no reason why you couldn't go with the Spider board. It's a capable board. The only thing I would say is it's like a couple of generations old, but it will still do the job. There's nothing wrong with it. So I've got to put this. I'll put this in first, I think, because this was a bit tight. Is that the right way around? No idea. Yeah, this is a little bit tight, this switch, for some reason, but it will go in. Needs a good push. There we go. And it's got a really satisfying plunk as well for the switch. So now, have I got some M10 countersunk screws? What size are these? These are 6. I might have to look through my other stash of parts. Would it be a problem if I go with a CNC tap? It weighs more. No, I think the CNC tap is probably the better version to go with. Thanks for stopping by, Steve. And I will see you later on your stream. So yeah, go get prepped. I'll see you then. Thanks for stopping by. I know Richard in the chat has got a CNC. I think have you got a CNC tap, Richard? I don't know if you're still here. See if I've got some countersunk. You do. What size did I say? 10. Yeah, I don't think I've got any countersunk screws of the required length. So I'll probably not put that on just yet, but they are identical to the BigTreeTech Chaotic Lab ones. Why? Fat Wang. Nice. So that's going to go there, is it? Yes. Where did we put the screws in for that one? Well, we know we're going to need M3, so we can put them in. That's going to do what? M3/8. Nice. That's one skirt on. No, well, yes, it's complicated. Chaotic Lab has a V2 out soon. I would wait if you want to go CNC tap. They have posted this in Discord a while back. so that's the power in. We can go forward now to the other skirts. So some more M3 peanuts. Then we need this big bit. This is our rear skirt part. Wait for what? Is there going to be a new version of something? Of the CNC tap they're talking about. So not, yeah. Put these in. Do with some holes in the top here to do these up, really. Yeah, looking nice. Right, so and then this is the next part we need. There's always a little bit of a gap in between these for some reason. I don't really like that. I'd prefer if they were more flush, but try and get it so it's even. Couple more nuts. So I think what we'll do is we'll get the last of the skirts on and then we'll probably call it a day today. We've got a lot more done than we did in the last stream. Now this might be a bit tricky to get in. Hopefully that will line up. There we go. There we go. So that's the rear skirts on. So let's basically just turn it around and do let's get those ones out of the way. Got to add a couple of extra skirts over here. So let's just do this side, I think. No, so it is. So this uses the center fan mount, because it's only mounted with one screw, is an M5, and then these only have, well, these do actually have two in, I guess because they're the 300 version. So the manual says to only put one in, M3 nut, but we need, where'd that go? Two. So let's do that. We'll do that both sides. And we want one M5 in the middle. And then these go like that, basically. So let's get some M3s in there. Yeah, once you start getting more printed parts on, it does look, they do look nice. Like I said, once you're just bolting parts on, it does go a lot quicker. So make sure we get the right part. So that'll be this one. Will be our other side. What size do we want? An M510. So what I'll probably do is put the skirts on, but not do the fans yet. So I'll probably end up taking, and I'll put the skirts on and finish the stream, and then when we start again, we can then do this part, basically do the fans. So then we want one of these ones on. Let's put it the right way around. It's kind of weird because the middle skirt goes the other way round. So rather than having the recess on the outside like you do with these skirts, it's on the inside. So it's a little odd, but is what it is. Yeah, I'm sure about to use that one. Let's just move this touch. And get it even. Then get the ball end out. Yeah, it's looking good. So let's spin it right round and do the other side skirts. Then we can flip it over stand it on its feet and see what it looks like. So, more M3s. And one M5. We'll put the one M5 in. And then, I always forget. I don't think it really matters which way you put the bolts in, the nuts in. Okay. Hello, Graham. That's okay, no problem. We've still got a little while just to get the rest of the skirts on, but then we will call it a day. Move these out a bit. There we go. So those of you that printed your own parts, did you print your skirts at the same settings as the functional parts? I personally print my skirts at 0.3mm layer height and slightly less infill, with the exception of the power, the skirt with the power point in, AC in part, and also the part that's going to have the screen on, just because it saves a little bit of print time. Yes, because I forgot to change it. I don't think it would say. I don't think it saves a much filament, because obviously everything's fatter, but in. Yep. Okay. Go. At the other end. Right in there. The only problem with the ball end of some drivers is that they don't like to let go, so it gets stuck. Yeah, I mean, there's no, doesn't really matter if you print them at the same settings. It just saves a little bit of time to do them at a larger layer height and slightly less infill, because they don't need to be. There we go. So these are M3s. Let me just grab that bit and see how that's going to go. So that will go. That will also have two M3s. Other screws. Okay. Get these. all these M3 roll-ins in. Okay, so make sure I get this the right way around. Yep. What colour scheme are you going for, Graham? You probably have said, but I've forgotten. So let's get this. Put in the right place. The only people who come to my streams, Richard, are the people who are in the Fysetc and possibly Cybor Discords. Right, and then let's put this on as well, just so we can see what it looks like. I really do not like how there's a massive gap. Well, not a massive gap, but a gap in between. Steve. Oh yeah, true. True. But everyone's welcome. And get the gap even. Oh, what did I do now? We were just talking about where viewers come from, basically. I guess you've probably either seen my stream linked on Twitter or possibly Steve Build's Discord. Right, let's turn this over. Let's see what it looks like standing up. There we go. Whoop. Yeah, you came from Twitter. That looks really nice. I'm really happy with how that looks. And then we will have, this is where the screen will go on the front. Really happy with the progress we've made today. Hopefully I've got parts in the right place. We've got a switch at the back. That is true, Graham. So I moved my 2.4 next door. Overtake the screen mount off so you can place it front side down. Yeah. So I literally just put everything on. I'm gonna have to take the fan ones off anyway to do the fans. I just wanted to see what it looked like. I think it looks really nice. Really happy with the colour scheme. I'm just gonna have a look and see if I can see a picture. Make sure I've got the bed mounts in the right place. I think I have. If I can find a picture. Probably on the bed assembly. Print bed. Yeah, so they're sort of behind the these screws. Yeah, so I'm really happy with that. I think we've made great progress today. I think we'll call it here for today. So thank you for coming along, everyone. If you've got any questions you want to ask, I'll let you just give you a couple of minutes to ask them. But otherwise, we'll wrap it up for today. I will do a little bit of prep off stream, just getting the heat inserts in the fans and stuff. Just not critical stuff, so you won't really miss anything. And then yeah, we'll just continue next Sunday really. So I'll just give you a couple more seconds in case there's any more questions, because I know there's a bit of a delay. But remember, I'll put those two M5 nuts there so I remember what they're for. Yeah, so I think we'll call it there then. So thanks for coming along, everyone. Yeah, I'll see you next week. Thanks for coming.